So we're going to begin today with our exercise of the week. And this week, we're focusing on glutes. So a lot of people don't realize it, but they have what we call glute amnesia, where they are overworking in their quads and underworking in their glutes. And so today we're going to do some assessments to make you aware of that, and then some exercises to help you strengthen it. So before we start, just a couple of ground rules. The first one is that we want to be focused on the process. So we do what in Alexander technique we call a no-go, right? So if you're doing the exercises and your autonomic muscular habits do the thing we're asking you not to do, don't panic, just take a moment, go back, start that moment again, start that movement again. But before you start it, you want to do what we call an intentional inhibition or a no-go. So you're like, nope, don't do it the old way. Do it mindfully in the new way. So I think that will help you changing when you're trying to change your habits. So today we're going to be working on alignment by getting your overworking quadriceps to do less and getting your underworking glutes to do more. So, and we're going to show you how changing that relationship between the muscles of your legs will actually help release any misplaced jaw tension that you might have, that you didn't know those were related. All right, so, also keep in mind that these exercises are great to do as exercises, but they're also wonderful exercises to do while you're singing. And so all the exercises that we do today, that we teach you, you can do the exercises as many times as you like. But when you begin to vocalize, then add these exercises if you're not getting the power that you're looking for. Glutes are a great source of power, both for singing and for everything that you do. All right, so if you happen to have a chair and a mirror, a large mirror on the wall, that's great. If you don't have either of those things, doesn't matter. We'll show you how to do it without it. But if you have a chair and you want to go get it, now would be the time to do that. First we're going to assess your access to your glutes. So what I want you to do is I'm going to move this a little bit. Sorry, I'm not going to give anybody vertigo there. So you can see my pelvis, all right? So what I want you to do is just put your hands on the front and back of your pelvis, kind of notice where you are. So if your hands are tilted this way, right? So the top of your pelvis is tilted forward and the bottom of your pelvis is tilted back. That's what we call hyperextension. And in this posture, you are dumping a lot of your body weight into your quads. If, on the other hand, your hands are pretty much this way, that's what we call hyperflexion. That's a tucked posture. And you're still on your glutes, but now you're really shortening through your rectus abdominis as well as shortening through your lower back. So what we really want is for your hands to be pretty perpendicular to the floor. As you put your hands on the back of your pelvis, the back and front of your pelvis, you want to feel that your sitting bones are pointing at the floor, and you can feel that your hands are pretty, obviously, the avoirdupois of my buttocks is making my hand go out a little bit. But my pelvis, if I push that in a little bit, you can see my hands are pretty much up and down. And that's what we want. But we don't want you to be twisting yourself in a pretzel to get there. So first, just kind of roll through those positions. Come into hyperextension, come through neutral, and go into tucking. Come back through neutral, and go into hyperextension. And just notice where else you might feel that in your body. Do you feel that in your rectus abdominis? Do you feel it in your upper back? Do you feel it in your legs? Do you feel it in your feet? All of those things are possible. We're going to show you how to develop the strength in your muscles to keep your pelvis grounded in that neutral position, because that's optimal, not just for singing, but for most of your activities, especially if you work out or do any weight training. So if you have that mirror, you can also watch in the mirror. Right now, uh, uh, if you're doing this live with me, you can probably see yourself in your own uh, device, in your own laptop or whatever, and you can figure that out. All right, so what I want you to do now is we're going to assess quad and glutes in a walking motion. So I want you to just stand normally, shift your weight to your right foot, and I want you to put your hand on your left quadricep and just pick up that left foot and leave it in the air for a second like you were going to take a step. You're probably feeling your quads engage, okay? Now, take that hand, put it on your left glute. So those glutes wrap around your pelvis, so you kind of want to have your hand about here. And I want you to shift your weight to your right foot. Now lift your foot like you were going to take a step. You're probably not feeling anywhere near the engagement in your glute that you're feeling in your quad when you're walking forward. And that's what we call glute amnesia. Your glutes have simply forgotten that picking up your leg to take a step, that's their job. Not alone, we want all the muscles of the leg to work, but we don't want to overwork the quads. That's going to keep pulling you into that hyperextended pose, and you're going to lose your power both in your singing and in everything that you do. Let's try it on the other side. So shift your weight to the left foot, and now you're going to put your right hand on your right glute. Lift that leg like you're going to take a step. Oh, there it is. Your right quad. I said glute, but I meant quad. You're going to put your hand on your right quad, lift that leg, and there it is. You feel that energy. It's reporting for duty. Now put that foot down, put your hand on your right glute, shift your weight to your left foot, lift that right foot. You're probably not feeling anything remotely like what you're feeling in your quads. But don't despair, because your glutes know exactly what to do when you take a step backward. So now we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to walk backwards instead of forwards. So shift your weight to your right foot, put your left hand on your left quadriceps, and lift your leg like you're going to lift your leg off the floor, like you're going to take a step backward. Even go all the way back on that left foot, probably not feeling a lot in your quads. Now, take that hand, your left hand, put it on your left glute, and shift your weight to your right foot. Lift that leg. As you put that leg behind you and start to set that foot down, you're going to feel that glute engage. Can you feel that? You can feel that engagement of your glute when you're walking backwards. So walking backwards is a great exercise to do while you're singing, because you're going to start working the muscles of the back of your body and get your power from a more 3D organization rather than just from the front of your body. Let's try that on the other side. So you're going to shift your weight to your left leg, right hand on your right quad, take a step back, probably not much going on. Put your hand on your right glutes, shift your weight to your left leg, take that step back. Oh, especially as you put your foot down, right? Even just when you've got your toes down before you've even gotten to your heel. But as you come through that heel, you're really going to feel that glute engage for you. So your glutes are not missing in action. They are there. And while we will make them stronger, they do understand the coordination that we're going to ask them to do. We just have to remind them to mindfully engage as we walk forward, and especially if you are hyperextended, you're not going to be in a position to get those glutes to come down. It is the glute action that is really going to help you keep your pelvis more in neutral. But feeling your glutes and controlling your glutes, all of that is kind of difficult to train. It's much, much easier to train your glutes by learning how to be on your feet. So that's what we're going to do next. What I want you to do, and we're going to show you how this relates to your jaw. So I want you to put your fingers between your upper and your lower jaw, between your upper teeth and your lower teeth. You don't really have an upper jaw. You have a skull and a jaw. And just kind of notice your bite is probably not even. From side to side, probably one side has more bite action happening than the other side. And from the front teeth to the back teeth, they're probably not even. So again, just like with the pelvis, don't try to fix it with the pelvis. Don't try to fix it with your jaw. We're going to fix your jaw and your pelvis by fixing your feet. So leave your fingers between your teeth, and I want you to think of your feet as if there were 4 magnets on the 4 corners of your feet. So the inner heel, the outer heel, the mound of the big toe, and the mound of the pinky toe. And I want you, one by one, we're going to go through those magnets, and you're going to feel the difference in your bite, and you're going to feel the difference in your pelvis. So with your fingers between your teeth, feel that that magnet is pulling down on the inner heel. The magnet under your foot on the inner heel is being pulled down from below the floor by a powerful magnet pulling it down. And you're going to feel the muscles in your legs working differently, right? And now let's go for that outer heel magnet. Keep your fingers between your teeth. You're going to feel your pelvis shift. You're going to feel your legs working differently, and you're going to feel your jaw shift. Now feel like there's a magnet under your outer heel. That's now you really got your inner heel and your outer heel. You're really starting to feel those glutes taking action. And if you were in hyperextension, you probably felt your whole body move back. And that's what we want. We don't want to be pitching forward. That's what's happening when we're too much in our quads. And eventually we feel unsteady even going downstairs or down an incline. Because if you're on solid ground already leaning forward, and then you go on an incline, now that can be dangerous. So now we're going to keep our fingers between our teeth, inner heel, outer heel. Now engage, pull that magnet under the mound of the big toe. Now you're going to feel your quadriceps engage, but they're going to engage in length rather than in shortening. And finally, the mound of the pinky toe, pull down there. So you can feel your torso is further back, your pelvis is more aligned in a straight up and down position, and your teeth are much more closely aligned with your jaw in a much better position in relationship to your skull. Now, keeping that idea of your 4 prongs, move your hands to the back of your body so that you're feeling your glutes. And as you start to do that walking exercise again, as you shift your leg to the side, send some energy down, pull down on those magnets on the heel, not just of your standing leg. So if we shift our weight to our left, of course I want you to feel strong magnet pull on that left heel. But as you lift up your right foot, feel as if, even as it comes up off the floor, as if that magnet of your right heel is still being pulled down. And just stay there for a minute. Can you go up and down, bending your left knee, and feeling that that right sitting bone, that right side, can lengthen down, that you can hold your leg up by engaging your glutes as well as your quads, your inner thigh adductors, and your abductors. And then take a step, still feeling that glute through your heel strike. Take a step, bring your left foot to your right foot, do the same thing on the other side. Come to your right leg. It's easy on the standing leg to really feel that glute action, to really feel that magnet pulling down through the heel, engaging that glute. But feel the same thing. Feel that pelvis doing this instead of that, right? So you're not going to just shift your weight and lift that left hip. You're going to keep that pelvis in neutral. And as you lift that left side, you're going to feel that left glute to take your step. All right, so that is the very beginning of working your glutes correctly in order to keep your quadriceps from overworking and to get you in a much better jaw position. So try that in your life, try that in your singing, and let me know how you like it. And we'll have another exercise of the week next week.